Tomorrow we'll move from Cyber Monday to Giving Tuesday. This is a global push for generosity that comes right as Georgia nonprofits are seeing some of their highest demand in years. Let's address that with Karen Beaver. She's the president and CEO for Georgia Center for Nonprofits. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Karen, what makes this day, Giving Tuesday, so influential as far as nonprofits go, especially right here in Georgia?
I think two things. The first is, it is Georgia's largest day of generosity, of giving. I always like to joke around and say it's a flash mob of giving. So everybody together, community's a team sport, so we just want everybody to give on Georgia Gives Day. The other thing, the second point, is that 30% of nonprofits revenue comes in the last 2 months of the year, December being one of them. So this is really an important day for nonprofits to be able to pay for all of the things that they do for community.
How would you describe the overall state of the nonprofit sector right here in Georgia as we head into Giving Tuesday?
Well, I would say that coming into 2025, exiting COVID and a lot of the supports, nonprofits have been shown to be a little bit more fragile. And the current environment with the numerous kinds of shutdowns that we've had since May have kind of exacerbated that. And then demand is rising. As we all know, we are hearing the news of layoffs, of inflation, families having a harder time purchasing just the things that they need to live, pay the rent, et cetera. And so that demand typically flows into nonprofits. And so we experience inflation, we experience the increased demand, and there's a bit more fragility coming into the year with nonprofits. So the need is great.
So you mentioned that 2 months, really, this being the biggest. Is that sustainable long term? I guess it's been lasting for a while, but is that sustainable?
Well, it is just the way that revenue flows, and I think that's no different than normal businesses out there. The businesses have their high times and their low times. The Friday giving, the Cyber Monday is a way that businesses sort of also drive revenue at the end of the year. In terms of sustainability, that is really relative to the tax system, right? So people are trying to kind of get tax advantage by, giving gifts at the end of the year, stacking gifts, writing off things. And so it's very typical for our sector.
For families watching at home right now, how can they ensure that their donation can go to a trustworthy, high impact organization?
Well, one thing you can do is go to gagives.org, which is Georgia Gives Day. It is the Giving Tuesday site for the state of Georgia. And all of the organizations that are listed there are 501c3 charities. They are listed with the IRS and have those credentials. And so you can be assured when you go to gagives.org that you will see organizations that are registered with the IRS. You can also do things like put in a keyword, maybe like your zip code, and give locally to the organizations that affect your particular zip code community. Or you could put in a keyword like dog, and it would bring up not only the Humane Society, but also really interesting groups like Guide Dogs for the Blind, for example, or charities that are just right within your area of interest, whether it's environment or arts or whatever.
Gotcha, Karen. I got less than 30 seconds left here. If you could snap your fingers, right, and change one thing about how we support nonprofits in Georgia, what would it be?
I think to really be aware that you live your life in nonprofits, whether you give dollars or whether you do not, whether you volunteer or don't, they are surrounding you. You may have adopted your dog, sent your kid to a nonprofit daycare, walk in a park that is maintained by a nonprofit. We all live our lives in nonprofits, and community is a team sport. So I would say step up, give a little, volunteer. You can do that by going to gagives.org, finding a cause you care about, and giving a little or a lot on tomorrow. Georgia Gives on Giving Tuesday.
There you go, Karen Beaver. Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate your insight and all the information you've given us today.